I'm coming through. All good and happy. We have a Rhea butt in front of us. I realize I don't actually have my light on because, I'm just sitting here being like, yeah, I totally know what I'm doing here. And Rhea's like, why aren't you just loving me? Because that's clearly what cats sound like. Well, my cat, especially this one. It's very much I just want to love. I just want to get some love so that I can get some food soon, because the food's going to go off in like 12 minutes. But so sad. Hey, Maggie, how's it going? Yeah, Rhea's just being a little bit of a butt. She was helping me over the last week because I sat down and started trying to work here. But she's just a little bit of a butt because that's what she does best. See, she's just like, look, I'm a cutie face. Look how cute I am. Because I'm so cute. But yeah, so she was helping me out, filling out this book with her tail. So there's a few places where there's actually a few swishes. She's saying hi. Say hi, Rhea. She's very loud sometimes. But yeah, so... Nope, that's not a thing. I need to turn off my sound. Yay! But yeah, so this is my new paint tabs because I've ended up with so much paint that my regular paint tabs were no longer cutting it. So I went through and was like, here's the colors and here is where they're from and their registered numbers. Cat in my face. But I have it set with like my blues and like greens, and it goes through all the colors of the rainbow and then some, because I also have neutrals and blacks and whites. And yeah, so that was an interesting time for me because some of the paints where I totally assumed that they were one color turned out to be a little bit of a different one, but that's okay. So they might end up in like a few different places, because like one of these colors is literally called Nightmare Black, and so I put it in the black and white pile because it's one of my new ones, and I didn't have an original tab for it. Turns out that when you add water to it and you thin it down, it turns blue. So it's kind of like that crayon, the indigo crayon that looked black but turned into a very beautiful blue. Yeah, that's this paint. This paint is is a nightmare. Yeah, if I just move things out of the way, because I wasn't really intending on showing the book, but if it's there, why are you being a butt, camera? I swear I had all these things set up, and then you would think that meds would make things better. Taking meds. Like there. But what I really need to worry about is the exposure. See, I totally know what I'm doing, right, guys? Right. Totally. That's just exactly what I do. But yeah, see, it turns blue. It's blue. So, I think that got rid of the lines. I don't see any lines. But yeah, so you can see, like, it's clearly a bluer shade. But yeah, so it was fun. I got to go through and like use a whole bunch of my washi tapes to be like, well, I know this kind of pink, but I don't actually have all that many purple washi tapes. So some of them ended up being a bit more on the bluer side, but it was still like, yeah, well, like that purple's kind of a pinky purple, so, that works fine. But yeah, so that's been my project, and hence, all my paints are still on the ground. But I now have a concise tabs of my paints and washes and inks. The only one that I haven't done yet is the metallics. I have a section for it called metals, and it has like shiny washi tape on it. But I haven't gotten around to doing that one because I don't really use my metals all that much, so it wasn't like, oh, I need to get this done in order to be, you know, a productive member of society of painting. Breathe. Breathe. I need to breathe. So, yeah, so this is... But it just felt nice to get that all done because I couldn't find some of the tabs that I had created. So, yeah. So it's nice to have a book of it all. And no longer individual, like, tabs everywhere of just different pieces and different things. And maybe I should just glue some black paper onto it or paint half of the side of like in black so that I can then put metallics on top of it. So that it's like, here you go. This is like the shine of this metallic because that's what it will do. That is what it will do. So yeah. And in other news as well, my lights in the background there are also at its full power because they finally sent the prior setting, like a different power supply with it. We're gonna go over to the pinks and we're gonna keep it at the lower temperature. Hi, Mrs. Jen. Yeah, I'm going to try at least to bring something to Resin Beast. I don't know where I am with painting, and the last time with Resin Beast, the first Resin Beast really helped push me to an area that I thought was far beyond what I was capable of. So I can only hope that maybe once again that will happen, right? Full power. Yeah, I'm so excited about that. Although I had to turn it down in order for any of the colors to show up on camera, but it is a noticeable difference in brightness, which is pretty great if you ask me. But it's a huge brick, and Tam was like, wow, you have to, you know, like basically tie it into the power supply in the wall because it didn't come with a plug. It came with bare cables, which was very strange. I will grant that. It was very strange. Yeah, Mikey, I am going to touch the Queen of Malefica is going to be my big entry. That was what it was going to be last year. And I've just wanted to be able to submit her. And I know she's behind compared to how I was before my surgery. She's not where I was then. Come on. I know you're not that full. Stupid air pocket. There you go. How many times do we have to stab at you? But yeah, so, hey, Co. How's it going? Let's see if we can get some. I actually haven't used this paint bottle yet. It pretty much took everything out from the main bottle, so I'm hoping that if I stab this thing enough, that it will open up whatever it is that needs opening in order for me to actually get some paint out. Hey, look at that! Hey! Good to know that it exists. But yeah, I'm not despairing on myself, Mrs. Jen. It's more of the fact of where I am now compared to where I was before I ended up taking a year break of painting. sure you're not done yet, Mr. Paint Bottle. Haha, I'll just favorite paint. Get back in there. You're sleepy. I'm doing okay. I'm on my meds today and yesterday because I'm trying out the thing where I actually take my meds every day and see how that goes with everything else. So, yeah, and yet I'm still scattered. So, that's goes to show just exactly how well it works. Except that it does work very well. I don't feel so overwhelmed by the world. Well, that's kind of nice, right? Right? It's good to not be overwhelmed by the world. So yeah, my big model that I'm going to be submitting to Resin Beast is the Queen of Malifica, my beautiful, beautiful model from 2020 that only needs a little bit more to be fixed up on her, that we will get to at one point or another. But I still want to work on another model to just kind of, work on it. Yeah, it's been hard for me to get into the mindset. And like I said before, it feels like it's a lot of like just the mental, getting past the mental side of it, where, I was in a lot of pain for the last while of my painting. So it kind of carried over from that is originally kind of how I'm thinking of it as. But even still, it's nice to have a bit of a push to be like, okay, let's get good again. I totally, absolutely forgot about Adepticon until yesterday when I saw a post by a different artist who was like, I totally forgot to announce that I had things posted, but then I saw that my classes were already filled, so isn't that great? And I was like, oh shoot, the class, registration has already opened. And I felt pretty bad about that. And, so I have to find out, I have to find a room to stay in that I'm willing to spend the money on in a hotel, because I don't really know that many people who are going this time around. And I'm also kind of considering just driving there because of we are closer, and it will give me wheels and that I don't have to rent. And because my biggest concern last time was my ability to get around, so this will at least give me something to work towards. Now, in terms of Mikey's question there, I did see it. So there, let's see here. Let's go to their things. They have large, medium, and small model categories, as well as the diorama and unit/warband category. Apparently you can register now, although that brings up an email, like email in. So yeah, and knowing that somebody like Kaha is going in and is going to be teaching at Adepticon, I know for sure that, especially like with people like Sam Lenz and all those amazing, amazing people, that I really don't have a chance of winning. And that's not to be despairing on myself. I was not close to them before I took my long break. So, but that's not the point of competitions for me. They have always been a way of pushing myself to see how far I can go as me. So that's how I'm going to take this. Or at least, that's how I'm going to try and take it. That's going to be, that's the goal anyways. Signed up for a few classes, a bunch more on waiting list, just because, yeah, a lot of the people that I would want to have classes with would have been sold out within like the first maybe hour. So but I joined one of Bugs' classes just because, well, mainly to harass him, because that would be fun. Yeah. So, but I've been in love with this particular model. She is again of the Malefic line, so you know, my absolute favorites. Though she's not, I'm not doing the my traditional blue skin lady, even though it might turn out that way, who knows. But as it is right now, it's not. So we're gonna go there. And because I was thinking like, you know, blue dress, and it's going to go get darker down here, which I guess I should just put in as just this guy anyways, just with this blue paint, even though I've been actively trying to not get it on there. Yeah, so it's one of those of like just trying to get back into it. And I signed up for one class that's on color theory. I know that I don't really need it, not as a super braggy, hey, I'm so amazing at color theory, but it's more of the fact that I have no idea how it is actively taught. I really have no idea. And I was told multiple times that I have a really good understanding of color theory and that I should try to teach it, but I don't even know where to start with the idea of teaching color theory because I don't know how I learned. It's basically like Tam trying to teach anyone math. It's just not a good idea. So it's so it's like, okay, I'm gonna take a class and see how this person ends up teaching teaching color theory. And maybe from there it'll give me inspiration onto how I can teach it myself. How are the fur babies doing? Oh, Tina, hi. Food just had gone up. So have you eaten? No. She's like, no, I don't know. But I put her pillow up here. I have her pillow actively up here now. If I turn the camera, see, active pillow. It's no longer at my feet. So here's the hoping. Callista's also out there. And Rhea was pestering me at the very beginning, being like, hey, I know you're showing off your new color tab book, but how about I show off my butt? Because, you know, that's what cats do best. Show off their butts. As one does, right? As one does. Athena's doing well on her medication. She's no longer having to be force-fed them, so that's an improvement. She actively likes the pill pockets of tuna and cheese. Like, what? I was not expecting that to be a combo, let alone my cat's actually liking the combo. But Moose is happy to eat it. Athena eats it. She wouldn't eat the salmon one. Moose ate the salmon one. And the kittens still have absolutely no interest in trying the pill pockets. They want to see what it is. They look to see it, they smell it, and then they're like, you know what? Nah, I'm good. But Callisto often like flips over onto her back and like has her paws like just like floop, and it's like, you're too cute. You are too cute, and she knows it. She knows it with her little nose, and it's not really all that fair. Yeah. She was just like, I'm gonna be up here, I'm gonna be over here, I'm gonna show off my butt. You know, everyone loves to see my butt. That's what cats do best, is show off their butts. So, yeah, that's what she was actively doing. I feel like I can do some almost like skin tone-ish like stuff going on right there-ish. But anytime Callisto sees Athena, she floops over and is just like, please love me. We're gonna be your best friend. She's still at it. She's still trying. She's a stubborn kitten. A stupid kitten, more often than not. But I think she's actually kind of winning. I didn't really know between a stubborn Athena and a stubborn Callisto who would actively win. But I'm kind of betting on Callisto now. Just a bit. So I tried airbrushing her, and kind of want, just keep playing with this and seeing where it really goes, because that's what's best, is when I play with paints and see how much it actively helps. Yeah, she gets pushed down and she's like, no, I don't accept this. We're going to actively love you still, as much as Athena would really love it if she didn't. But she has, as you said, so much love to give and so much love to ask for that. But there's a lot of sniff faces going along, and so and there's times where like Athena chases Callisto, and I have to wonder, like, is she fighting? Or is this actually like Athena trying to learn how to play? Like Moose tried to learn how to play with her with the kittens months ago. Maybe that's what Athena's trying to do now too. is how to play, and since the kittens chase a lot, maybe Callisto's now thinking it's a game of Athena chasing her. So it's like there's trials and errors of like, should I stop this or should I let this go? I don't know sometimes. So what I'm just kind of doing here is just, I guess, throwing on a bunch of contrast into the orange, which I don't know. I just have a feeling like this is something that will turn out, and that is essentially a lot of what I do. A lot of what I do is just me trying something out, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, Athena's loafing out there, and Callisto is somewhere. Probably scamping with her sister, because that's what they're really good at doing. So I really want to actually get some of this orangey. Kind of playing with the same skin tones that I was doing before with my Kingdom Death model, and which is still on the side here, but it's more over the fact of like, oh right, now we gotta learn. Now we gotta push for this again. I mean, it helped last time, so. Even though I really, really hate that I have this in subassembly. Because her smoky blade kind of, I think, goes like, yeah, like it goes up on in there. Which I don't really find is actually all that breaking. So I might actually attach that at some point. But we'll get there. We'll get to it. But it'll be good to be around a bunch of painters again. These past years have been pretty tough. I want to get a liner out here. since I have all the paints. Actually, that might be a good one. Purple, that's not what I want. I want purple liner. Red brick. Well, red brick actually might also work very nicely. Because this is what happens when I have all these paints that are just right behind. Literally just pick that one up. Ink might also work. That's more of a black though. I don't even know if you guys can still hear me, but hopefully you guys can. Gray liner is kind of not really the direction I want to go in. Red liner! Hey, that works. Yeah, I haven't put my paints back on the wall. We will get there. Oh, let's see if I can actually get my leg up into a... Hey, look at that! It won't be able to stay like this for, for too long. But I have it cross-legged. I can be cross-legged again for some period of time anyways. Yeah, it's me learning a whole lot of things I can and can't do with my legs, and also building up that stretch, because there's a capsule that basically insulates the hip socket from your hip into with your femur. And when I had my surgery, they restitched it up, which tightens up that capsule. And so a lot of what my physio has been doing has been working on stretching that back out so that it is a so it can bend like it used to be. It has to take a little while to get to that level. And yeah, that's what a lot of that is working on. It's good to, cross my legs every once in a while and sit like that. And just let it go. And but pay attention to when it becomes a bit too much, and use that as a sounding board for, like, oh, now it's time to take that off and put my legs down and knock over models, apparently. But we'll now that I have that now as a special way of protecting my water from the little beasts that seem to think that they can drink all my water. Because all four of them like to drink from water glasses. Although Ray and Callisto have also started really like drinking from the tap. So they have been listening to Lola. Little secret cat messages. Learning how to cat. Although what's been really interesting is seeing new methods from Moose. Because Moose has never like thrown a toy before to like chase after it. She's batted it around, she's brought it to us before, but she's never actively like picked up a toy, toss it, and then chase after it. It's just not a thing that she's ever really done. And she's doing that now. And I think it has to do with that she watched Rhea do it, and now she's like, oh, that seems like a fun method of chasing a toy. I'm trying to see if this is actually a line or that because that one was for sure a line, but I don't know if this arm is one, and I think it is, so I'm just gonna scratch that down at this stage anyways to find out where various mold lines are. Before I get super involved into painting and detailing, and this is still at a fine stage of where's the mold lines. Hi, Dina. Hi, love. You're so cute. She really is like the sweetest cat. And she's doing so much better with her meds. She's just that much calmer. And we like calm cats. It's better than her chasing after Callisto to be angry with her. Let's actually bring this down here. We're gonna have to go over here and say, hey, focus. Yeah, focusing. I know I did something with like Druchii, Violet, and Carabol Crimson. I remember doing something with those. I might have written it down in the books, like the paint book that I had before. So I'll have to definitely take a look at that. Nope, like needs to be no longer crossed, but that's okay. It'll be a little bit weird not to have blue skin on her, but hoping I can still make it kind of work. I just don't think an orange dress with blue skin would look very nice. Not this time around anyways. I kind of want to put like 2 eyes in here as something really weird because she has like this little, try to lightly draw it in here as like almost like it comes on in like a, it's very much like a crown. It does give her this appearance that she has like 2 eyes that could be right there on either side. And I also kind of like the idea of like this also being an eye socket, because this creature is, it's kind of like a siren in the sense of it takes on the appearance of being a human or humanoid, but it's very much not humanoid. Which is kind of the fun part about it. I'm kind of like sketching out where I feel like some of the skin would show through the fabric. And what do I have? I think I have that yellow book over here. Ooh, I'll buy that. Like a cigarette, even though I never smoked in my life. I don't know where it could possibly be. Hey, Athena. I'll make it up as we go. A. Okay. Yes, Athena? Oh, okay. Hi. Oh, hi, Athena. Oh, my love. Oh, my loveliest of loves. Oh, sweetheart. Oh, it's my love, sweetheart. Hi. Hi, honey bun. Oh, what is it? That's my pink palette. You don't want to sit on that pink palette. No, you don't. See, I have your favorite blanket already on my legs. So if you want to sit on that, you can. Or, oh my god, look, it's your pillow. Oh, yeah. And a glass of water. See, I know what my baby likes. My baby girl. Yeah. Oh, I know. It's so full, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, whoa. Water. Hi, sweetheart. Hi, my love. He's so cute. As we bend this that way. See, she's just saying no. Yeah, she's like, oh, I know this pillow. I know this positioning. She's such a good girl, that Athena. Yeah, aren't you, my baby? Wanna in here so I can kind of like throw in a bit of like this contrasty stuff. I just help see what I got. I always seem to love to focus on the stomachs. It's just really weird because like I find abs to be super creepy. I've painted enough abs to feel like they're just something just not right about them. Skin down there. Tina? He hasn't really wanted to hang out in here too much. So I feel like I kind of just need to paint this as if it is kind of like the skin tone and paint it wider than it generally is. But I remember it's the thin points that will have that skin shade. So if I just paint it in there as if it's like, oh yeah, no, that's skin. Bring over one of my other creature caster models that I ended up actually doing skin tone, like transparent cloth through. But it not be like cloth and these cloths and. What? Are you gonna sit down and hang out with me? It's been so very long. Yeah, like that. Also, like right in there will also need to be. Get a loaf. Get my loaf back. Get my loaf back. It is the best thing in the whole world is to get my kitty loaf. It's in there, baby girl, yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness. It's an Athena face. It's an Athena face. Look how pretty she is. How pretty is Athena? How pretty is Athena on the pillow? Where can Athena be? You can't see her because she's on her pillow. Oh my goodness. Oh, I love her. And it's so nice just to have her want to be in here. I've put this pillow here multiple times and she's never has not taken to it like she did in Sky Park. So we'll see. But she's hanging out. For now, she's hanging out. Which can only be considered a good. Alright, so we're going to be doing, so we have that kind of, that cloth places figured out. I'm going to have to take a look to see what is considered to be like a large model and what's considered to be a medium model, because they have small, medium, and large, and I'm like, out of your models, guys, what is considered small and what is considered medium? See you, Mikey. Thanks for stopping in and saying hi. Just put in those I'm gonna just put that there and that there so you can kind of see where I'm thinking about eyes. She's just very alien, obviously. Because, you know, she is an alien. Alien-like creature. I'm just gonna keep that there. It kind of, actually, in my mind, it kind of helps exemplifies it. Feathers that are on either side of her face. What I liked to do before was like kind of make it look like a bruised flesh almost. Um, Come on now. Yeah, how's teaching and stuff going, Miss Jen? How are your kids? I hear that, like you said last time, that they were a bit of a I wouldn't say nightmare, but that they definitely made you appreciate your last class. Are you being difficult? Oops, that could have been bad. Like that's all liquid. Like no actual pigment in there quite yet. Grab one of my agitators. Right here. Reaper doesn't need agitator beads. Yeah, it does sometimes. Sorry. There was... I ended up getting some flack a while ago about saying, oh, I put agitator beads into all my paints. And then people being like, oh, no, you don't need to do that with Reaper paints. It's just like, well, you know, sometimes you do. Just to get that extra bit of mixing. Yeah. I've heard of like how, especially those children who grew like who in those really crucial years of development. Yeah, there we go. Were not exposed to other people, and so thus don't have a lot of those cues. I definitely saw how that affected my neighbor's child back in California. Started like breaking down and crying when another person who was outside of the family unit got close to them. Not me. I was gardening, but it was a person who was delivering mail. In as well as like not too much wet paint. Kind of want to mark in the teeth. There's teeth in a few places that are on her. Yeah, I could see that. Not knowing how to act around non-family members. Adding in those. It's very sloppy. But yay. Oh, there are teeth on this side as well. so counted for these teeth, and I'll likely find more later. But I think that at least is the majority of them. At least I think so. Just kind of like maybe feather in the edges a little bit, especially like right up here. Were you guys thinking about going to Adepticon? Or was it last year, Mrs. Jen? Guinan said, "Time has no meaning here." In my brain. The what made it look like really buggy. Adding in that blue to the skin tone. I also know like one of the methods is to like mix the two colors. That gives you a little bit more control over it than just washing it down. So let's see how that goes. Tiny bit of that there. So it's like still like a little bit of that skin tone. And on that fold will be dark. Still needs to be more of the skin tone than the blue. Blending in there. And I really feel like this needs to be smoothed down a little bit more. To ask Day if she's planning on going. I know at one point she was thinking about it, but doesn't guarantee that she's able to. A little bit more. my physio appointment again tomorrow. I get to go to see a doctor again, or this time a new one next week, because my physiotherapist is a bit concerned about how I get rather lightheaded upon like a little bit of exercise, especially exercise that involves my head like changing elevation in terms of like minor things like push-ups and lunges and crunches, like those kinds of elevation change. So it's not like, you know, oh, I climb a mountain and I get woozy. Like, that's not where I'm at. But just even just simple things that are causing that to happen. So he just wants me to looked at again. His big concern is that it might be POT syndrome. I don't know. I asked him like a few weeks ago because I was like, should I be feeling woozy with this? Like, is this a thing that should be happening? And the gathered answer was, no. No, it really shouldn't be. So. Here's to hoping it's just an imbalance in something or another that the doctors can easily fix, and it's not like, you know, crazy thing. Like, one of the things I was seeing like that could bring on this syndrome is low sodium. So yeah. And like, I know I need to lose weight, and like that's a thing that's also on the side, but I need to be able to exercise in order to lose that weight. And but getting, you know, lightheaded from very minimal stuff is just not good. So after I get the answer from the doctor in terms of like go through that and see, oh, I possibly need to do this and that and add this. I was thinking of getting, like, looking into a dietitian. But I don't want to do that until I know, like, the kinds of things that maybe I should be looking for or staying away from. Like, if I need a higher sodium intake, then I want to make sure that the person that I am going to have as a dietitian understands that and doesn't try to be like, oh no, you shouldn't use this much sodium in things if that's what I need. Like, but like looking at a lot of the symptoms for POTS, it makes sense for me. Like, I have like a lot of those extra symptoms on it. You know, I know I had it before my injury because I had that during, like, especially I know for sure I had it in California when I was doing kettlebell training, which was a lot of fun. But I remember feeling that like lightheaded onset of feeling. Yeah, anything could change. But it's more of the fact of like, I don't want to just assume and then be like, oh, I should just add more sodium to my diet and then cause more problems that way. And the reason why I keep saying sodium is because, like, one of the things is like, oh, it could be caused by having like not enough sodium in your diet. So that's why I keep bringing that up as a possibility. But this is why I like having doctors that do seem to care about how I am and how I'm doing, and that I don't feel awkward about asking these kinds of things too. Maybe it's just me maturing and getting better at handling it. Maybe it's because I've had to handle so many doctors in more recent times because of my injury that I'm a little bit more like, okay, this seems off. Instead of just wondering about it, how about I ask a professional? Because clearly I sat on it for a while because I had it in California. So I know I've at least had it for like 4 years. So and I know it's not COVID related because I got it. I had this happen before COVID. So. But it used to be just from very intense exercise. Like when I'm really like doing intensive stuff. But now it's just like, now it's just happening when I'm, doing very gentle lunges. And before I thought it was like, oh, well, maybe I'm just like concentrating so much on trying to maintain my balance that I'm forgetting to breathe. And so this most recent one was like, no, I'm very much paying attention to like breathing. Like being very slow at the movements, just because I'm like, okay, well, I want to not over intensify what's going on in my brain, so let's do that. And I still got very woozy, so that's when I was like, okay, if there's someone to ask, if there's anyone to ask, it'd be my physiotherapist. And that's when he was like, oh, but like last time he was like, oh, well, maybe it's a fight and flight instinct because I haven't done a lot of exercise in a while. So maybe it's like my body's freaking out about it and trying to get me to stop. And the quickest thing to do to make you stop doing something is to start feeling woozy. And that's why I was like, okay, drink lots of water before physiotherapy, so I'm hydrated. Concentrate on breathing. Still get extraordinarily lightheaded. Just like, okay. So that's next Wednesday. That's the earliest I could see the doctor. Because I called them. I'm like, yeah, so my physiotherapist was a little bit concerned about the fact that I get very lightheaded on minute amount of exercise. And they're like, yeah, that sounds like a good reason to come on in. I'm like, thank you for understanding. That's where I am at my medical side of things. I'm just hoping that it'll be... I have hope that it'll just be something easier to fix. Because that would be nice. It'd be nice to have something easy. But I also know that, winter is a little bit more difficult to do any kind of outside exercise. And I'm very paranoid about doing exercise outside, like going for walks, just because of the icy nature of everything. Are you precious? Yeah, you are precious. You are super duper precious. Don't anyone tell you otherwise. I almost want to like completely ruin everything I've just done and just do like an airbrush quick blowdown of like white, just to be like, this is where my contrast is coming from. I almost feel like I should start putting on, get her hands on in here. Especially now that I have that skin tone on the fabric. I feel like that's going to cause so many problems, but I just... Yeah. Oh, hi, pretty girl. Oh, she's sitting up. Oh, she's cleaning her feet. I just love having her in here again with me. Pretty girl, look at my pretty girl. Yeah, hi, pretty Athena. Hi, pretty Athena. My hand need cleaning? Does it really need that much cleaning? Wow. Finally hanging out with me again. Nice. Aw. You don't need to lick the paint off my hands. She's such a pretty cat. Such a pretty girl. I feel like I need to actually bring in an orange up here. Here, we bring out my. This is why we have my book, right? Yeah. I read would work nicely. Or the transparent orange. Is that this one? Yep. I'm seeing her clean her paws. So, like, when she was highly stressed, she stopped really doing any kind of, like, cleaning of any of her. So it's really nice just to see her being a cat again. Yeah. She hasn't wanted to hang out in my studio. She hasn't wanted to, you know, do any kind of, like, hang out, be with me. Oh, it's really nice just to have my baby once again. You know, I've been trying to get her to come in here, or, like, even to the point of, like, closing the door so that the little ones couldn't get down in here. She still wouldn't want to hang out with me. I think she's finally, you know, comfortable in the house, and And that's what made it even more confusing for a little while, is because, like, Athena would guard my studio so heavily against the Lilins. Like, she'd be fine for a bit, and then she would notice that one of the Lilins was in my studio, and she would just go ballistic on them. Like, but you don't even like being in there yourself. It's nice that she's being all like, okay, actually, I want to hang out with you in here. I feel like I need to use yellow in my cat logic. Yeah. She's like, I don't want to be in there, but you can't be in there either. No, I wasn't in the greatest mind space yesterday. And, all 4 cats decided to come by at certain points just to be like, hey, how's it going? Hey, how are you? Yeah, it might seem like I'm doing a lot of back and forth, but I'm just trying to figure stuff out here. By like adding white, it's really like paling it out. So I'm gonna make it, I still want it to be reasonably vibrant. Hi, sweetie. What's up? Hi, love. Can you be helped? Do you want my lap? Is that it? I have a blanket here if that's what you want. Look at this. Oh my god, I think look. Blanket. Oh my god, I pick you up and place you here. Who'd have thought that that could happen? I did. I thought that could happen. Oh, you want to chew on some paintbrushes? Okay. I guess that's fine. You approve of this brush? I mean, it's a very useful brush. It's a very handy one. So I'm glad that you have chosen to bless upon it your little teethy marks. But okay, bye. Getting on the hungrier side of things. I should add more water to my paint palette. Injection of water. Alright, well, I'm gonna take a tiny bit of a break. Bitty bitty break. I'm gonna have a snack. And yeah, so I will be back soon, guys. I've stolen a baby. She ran in here. And then she's like, no, I'm escaping. I'm an escapee. I do escaping things. Like escaping. Go on. All four cats are hanging out down here. Just like, yeah, here we go. Like, we're just gonna be hanging out and see how things are doing. But we're just gonna not be in the studio. So we won't show off our cute faces or anything like that. So yeah, it is what it is. I took a quick look to see if I could find my yellow book. And alas, I could not. So that is a-okay. She is her own model. She doesn't need to be based off of another system or something. I was walking into my studio and she just like runs in, and then I pick her up and she's like, no, that's not what I meant. I'm a kitten. I'm the knight. You know, cute cats doing cute cat things. I'm almost done Wheel of Time. Somehow I've made it to the last book. And chapter 20. And the 9-hour chapter is like 37, so it literally is 9 hours of audio just for that chapter. That'll be an interesting day. I remember when Tam got to that point in the book. He was like, do you need me to do anything? Because I'm not gonna stop when I start this. And he didn't. I'm almost there. Definitely, some of those books were a slog. But it's definitely been a very fun ride. feel like I should put on her hands to kind of just pick it up. The rest of the skin is. Sticky side first. Yeah, what's up, Athena? What's up, babes? Make sure that, because my brush was catching on something, and I want to make sure that that is not staying there. On something as delicate as her fingers. Yeah. Callisto's chittering over there, which probably means that she's trying to talk to Athena. Yeah. That look out there, she's like kind of like bunned up but near Athena, and just she does that often when she's trying to talk to Athena. Yeah, Athena. Crazy cat's trying to talk to you. It's okay. I'm not leaving my studio. I'm not following you to go and nap somewhere. Not yet. I want to do a little bit more work here. Just a little bit more work here. Sorry, honey. Her skin is now looking sufficiently vibrant. Didn't really particularly want it to be, you know, dolled out. I wanted her skin to be very eye-catching. Are you a silly kitten?
Yeah, you are. I know her noises aren't being picked up by Athena. Athena's being, well, like I said, she can be a bit protective of my studio. And sometimes Callisto just really doesn't leave her alone, which is unfortunate. And so that's why we sometimes say that she's just being a dumb kitten. She's like, she has a lot of love that she wants to give to Athena. And Athena right now really just wants to go and have a nap with me. So she's being a bit fussy. I wait until I hear a certain noise, and that's when I'm like, okay, that sounds a little bit more panicky. That I don't think it's playtime anymore. Right. Callisto's now sitting far away. So need to worry too much right now. mean, I don't have to go running out there. I haven't had to worry about Athena trying to murder kittens, though, so not yet, anyways. Moreover, not for so. Stay on the darker side of side here.
She's just clawing things.
I'm trying to be a little bit quieter so I can just listen in on them and sound like that's a necessary thing, though. Uh, and not necessarily a creature that's living on her head, even though she is that full creature, but you know. You should get my drift by now with these creepy things. some parts of her that have, you know, there's hair, but then there's also those creepy tentacle things. Responding there, but would you like it if it did not? All for her. Some white, more whiteness up in there. Kind of like the idea of it white. The right thing, so I think maybe it's sludgy. Give it some yeah, what's up, baby? Was she picking on you? Was she really?
Too many paints in your way? It's okay.
Be on the drier side of wet. I'm gonna make it so that I can at least. I wanted to bring it up a little bit. It's a delicate balance, I guess. I feel like I should take a picture of it and then take it to Photoshop as it is right now. To then be like, where do I go from here? Not to be like, and now we'll finish it up with Photoshop. It's I did that with Arcana a lot. It was much easier to make decisions on directions of where to go. I do that. And that way I can play around with figuring out what kind of color I should make her sword smoke stuff. Yeah. So that's my arms are getting tired. Oh, well, that was fun. I enjoyed myself. So thank you guys for hanging out and seeing the kitties. The kitties are great. But yeah, so hopefully I'll be back again tomorrow after my physiotherapy, depending on how dizzy that makes me. Because that gives me a nice headache throughout the rest of the day, so you know, great. But yeah, so yeah, this is the direction it's going in, so we shall see where I end up. But then again, thank you guys again. I hope you have a wonderful day. You know, I'm gonna say the YouTube thing of like, subscribe, and thumbs up things. I don't know any of that yet. But yeah, so hopefully I will see you next time. Okay, bye.